It's Miss Dixon here for my next reading. And today is Look Like Your Favorite Teacher Day. But I didn't really know where to go with that. So I kind of have my shirt that says art is my favorite sport. So I'm going to go with I'm teaching gym and art. Oh no. It's just what I think. But I do have a fun book today. One of my favorites when I was little. It says, My Teacher Sleeps in School. It's one of my favorite books when I was growing up. Big nostalgic memories tied to this one. Okay, so you guys ready? Okay, let's see. Let me get comfortable. Oh, okay, there we go. You guys ready? Goodbye, called Mrs. March. I'll see you all tomorrow. Mrs. March went back into the school and everyone began walking home. I think the teacher sleeps in school, said Molly. I think she stays there all night long. What a dumb idea, said Gary. Teachers don't sleep in school. Mrs. March does, said Molly. She's always there when we come, and she's always there when we leave. I think the classroom is her house. Why don't you just ask her? Dared Gary. I did once, said Molly, and she just laughed and laughed, but she didn't say yes or no. But where would she sleep? Said Gary. Where would she eat? Let's look around the room for clues tomorrow, said Molly. Maybe we'll find out. The next day, Gary could hardly do his work. He kept watching Mrs. March and wondering, what if it's really true? He whispered to Molly. What if she really lives here? Pretty soon, Lisa and Jason were wondering too. Where does she keep her clothes? Asked Jason. In the closet, of course, said Lisa, behind the paste and paper. At playtime, when Mrs. March wasn't looking, they opened the closet door. Look, whispered Lisa, a towel and soap. And a mirror, squealed Gary. I bet she gets dressed in this closet, said Molly. And undressed, too, giggled Lisa. I'll bet she wears funny pajamas, said Gary. And gloppy cream on her face, said Jason. They pictured Mrs. March in her pajamas and couldn't stop laughing. Next, they tiptoed over to the play kitchen. I saw her hide 2 bags here this morning, said Molly. More proof, said Gary in a loud whisper. It's paper plates and napkins and lots of forks and spoons. She must be having company. I see cake mix and eggs in this bag, whispered Lisa. She must be baking a real cake. I think she cooks her supper here every night, said Molly. That oven is only make-believe, said Jason. She can make it work, Molly said. Teachers can do anything. You hear that, students? Teachers can do anything. Believe it. Believe it. Cross it. Promise. Then they thought about where Mrs. March ate her supper and did her laundry and brushed her teeth before she went to bed. But where does she sleep? That was still a mystery. Maybe she sleeps on the bookshelf, suggested Gary. Or on the piano, said Molly. They looked and looked, but they couldn't find any clues. Then after lunch, everyone was getting ready for an art project. Score! When Mrs. March was in the closet getting paper, Gary snooped around behind her desk. There's something under here, he whispered. Come and see. A pair of slippers, said Molly, and a pillow. She must sleep under her desk. We never thought of that. I told you so, said Gary. She really does sleep in the school. Poor Mrs. March, sighed Lisa. I bet it's lonely here at night. And creepy, said Jason. Then Molly had an idea. Let's leave her a good night snack, she said. And a nice note, said Jason. And something cuddly to sleep with, said Lisa. Gary had part of a sandwich left over from lunch. Jason had saved 6 potato chips for later. Lisa got the teddy bear out of her cubby. Molly was in charge of the note. Surprise, she wrote. We know you sleep here. Good night. Sleep tight. Gary promised to keep everything a secret, but soon the whole class knew. Everyone started giggling and whispering. Mrs. March looked puzzled. What is going on here today? She asked, but nobody answered. By 3 o'clock, Molly had wrapped up the goodnight package. Then Gary sneaked it under Mrs. March's desk. The next day, everyone got to school early. They could hardly wait to hear what Mrs. March would say, but all she said was, "We're going on a mystery trip today." And she wouldn't tell them where, not even a hint. Everyone got on the school bus. They rode and rode. At last they stopped at a white house with a blue door. "This is where I live," announced Mrs. March. Gary looked at Molly. Molly looked at Lisa. Lisa looked at Jason. Then they followed Mrs. March inside. Mrs. March showed them where she cooked her supper and did her laundry and brushed her teeth before she went to bed. "And this," said Mrs. March, "is where I sleep." "Every night?" asked Molly. "Every night," said Mrs. March. Then she showed them her children's room. "You even have children?" asked Lisa. "Yes," said Mrs. March. "They're in school all day, just like you. When my husband and I get home from work, we're all together." "Just like us," said Molly. "Now follow me," said Mrs. March. "I've saved the best for last." She led the class into the dining room, where there were paper plates and napkins from the shopping bag at school. "I've been planning this special treat for the class," said Mrs. March. "Oh," said Molly, "we thought—" "I know what you thought," said Mrs. March, laughing. Then Mrs. March brought out a big cake, and just like Molly's note, it said, "Surprise!" "I baked this last night," said Mrs. March. "I baked it in my own oven, in my own kitchen. And after that, I went to sleep in my own real bed." Gary gave Molly a poke. "I knew it all the time," he bragged. "Teachers never sleep in school." Molly didn't even answer him. Mrs. March was smiling at her in a special way. "Molly," she said, "would you help me cut the cake?" Mrs. March served everyone a piece with a heart on it. And she saved the biggest heart for Molly. Oh! So how many of you guys thought that us teachers slept at school?
Did you get me?
We might need to sometimes, but we don't. As you can see here in digital learning, we actually have homes. We actually have families. There's the other one. Hi! So we don't actually sleep at the school, even though sometimes we probably need to. And sometimes it may feel that we live there, but we don't. And I hope you guys enjoyed the book. And I tried to do my best on, my teacher look-alike day, but I'm pretty sure I don't look anything like Miss Singleton. But she is the best gym teacher. So I still say art is my favorite sport. Okay? So I'm going to tell you guys one thing real quick. I want to tell you that this book, was made in 1984. That was 1 year before I was born.
Wow. Wait, what? You never told us that.
So, this may be an old book, but it's a good one. So you guys I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Really, 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 really enjoyed it because I grew up enjoying it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys. I'm back. Shh. Yeah, rock out. Okay. Just for an alternate ending. That's why I have the sunglasses. You don't know who I am. I gotta make sure that if word gets out, Coach Forrester, you're also the best gym teacher. Okay?
Peace up. A-Town. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
What are you doing, Anya? Oh, wait. Gotta come up with a alternate identity for you, too. Oh, no. Shh. Okay, so, just in case.
Just in case you do it.
Just in case. Singleton
Okay.
and Forrester.
Do scream.
You the best damn teachers.
Do scream too.
I don't know what this promise. I promise you. I promise.
No.
I promise. It's just, you know.
And scream.
Okay. You can do it. And scream. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Okay. So, shh. Don't blow my cover. Just make sure. Shh, if word gets out. Just in case word gets out. We'll see.
This is Mommy.
Ugh. Okay. 10-4.
This is Miss Dixon.
I don't know what that means.